there is an epidemic of autoimmune diseases, first of all, worldwide. And to me, it's shocking that the world out there doesn't even know what an autoimmune disease is. If I talk about what I do for my career to, say, someone who's cutting my hair or someone at the grocery store, I have to always explain what an autoimmune disease is because I realize the general public doesn't even know. And we'll talk today, the doctors don't even know what an autoimmune disease is. And even those of us who have an autoimmune disease, it'd be hard pressed to really describe it. So here we are at the forefront here at New Life Center for the last 18 years, the forefront of this worldwide epidemic on autoimmune diseases. And first, let's define what is an autoimmune disease. Well, an autoimmune disease is a disease in which the body's immune system, which is meant to protect us, it becomes dysregulated and it mistakenly attacks the very tissues and organs of our body that it was designed to protect. And so instead of protecting us, it actually starts attacking us. Okay, so the dysregulated immune system is the singular problem for an autoimmune disease. That is why a person has one, and as long as that immune system stays dysregulated, we can't heal. We'll talk more about this in just a moment. But first, let me share with you some shocking autoimmune disease statistics showing what an epidemic this truly is. So autoimmune diseases are increasing worldwide at a rate of 12 to 19% a year. 12 to 19% a year. 50 million Americans have an autoimmune disease. Over 100 different types of autoimmune diseases have been identified, and 25% of people with an autoimmune disease have more than one autoimmune disease. 80% of all patients diagnosed with an autoimmune disease are women. It's primarily autoimmune is a women's disease. There are men that have autoimmune, but primarily it affects women. The sharpest rise in autoimmune diseases, if what I just shared isn't shocking enough, the sharpest rise is in adolescents. And adolescents are individuals aged 12 to 19. That autoimmunity in adolescents has tripled from 1988 to 2012. And it keeps growing. This is from the National Institute of Health. They also go on to share that autoimmune disease prevalence in children has doubled in the last 8 years, going from 10% in 2010 to 20.8% in 2018. In 8 years, autoimmune disease in kids has doubled. And most importantly here, of adolescents, girls are 3 times more likely to develop an autoimmune disease than boys. 3 times more likely. So adolescents, the sharpest rise continuing. This is the future of our world right now, and autoimmune diseases are doubling and tripling in this population, and girls are 3 times more likely. What's going on? A couple autoimmune disease statistics on some specific autoimmune that I want to share with you. That over the last 30 years, the prevalence of celiac disease, that's where people have to be gluten-free because of the immune system is attacking that gut lining. Prevalence of celiac has increased 5-fold, doubling every 15 years. The estimated number of people with MS, multiple sclerosis, worldwide increased 30% in a span of 9 years between 2013 and 2022. 30% increase in MS in a 9-year period. And between 2006 to 2021, in a 15-year period, the prevalence of IBD, or inflammatory bowel disease, increased 46%. IBD increased 46% in 15 years. So, and it's shocking that our world doesn't even quite know what an autoimmune disease is, and here it is. It's becoming the most problematic health conditions for us as humans worldwide. And the scary thing is that doctors, scientists, and medicine are no closer to finding a solution or a cure for autoimmune diseases than they were when they first came onto the forefront back in the early 1900s. They are no closer to finding a solution to permanently heal. They don't even know where they're coming from. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. If you have an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, are frustrated with medications, supplements, or food diets, and are ready to start the journey to finally and permanently healing your condition, I have 2 13-week online self-guided educational programs, the Autoimmune Healing Program and the Chronic Illness Healing Program. Both programs teach you how to permanently heal your autoimmune disease or chronic illness, leave behind those doctor's visits and symptom management, and to finally heal without supplements, medication, or food diets. This is the same journey I took and why I am over 10 years completely healthy. All 8 of my autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses are permanently gone. You can find the link to apply for a complimentary course consultation with me down in the description below. And if you're not ready to take this step, watch my free 101 course on autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. You'll also find the link to watch this down in the description. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. I look forward to you permanently healing your autoimmune disease or chronic illness.